Hi, I'm Richie Zullen, and in this video I want to show you how to add new color to several jazz standards by reharmonizing the 2/5 chords in a major key in order to execute what is known as a deceptive resolution. In doing so, you are also going to learn the principle behind those first two chords in Stella by Starlight, which sounds so good yet seem to be unrelated to the main key of the tune. Interested? Well, stick around because I'm ready to tell you all about it starting now. Welcome back to the Jazz Guitar channel, and if this is your first time and you want to learn everything you can about the art of playing jazz guitar, please subscribe and be sure to click the bell notification icon so you won't miss anything. So what is this business of deceptive cadences and deceptive resolutions? I'm sure most of you are wondering what the hell I'm talking about. Well, it's not that complicated at all if you understand some basic theory. So let me explain. Aside from the one chord, a major tonality has two additional chords that are categorized under the same function. That is the tonic function. These two additional tonic chords are the 3 minor 7 and the 6 minor 7 and are interchangeable with the one major chord. Let me give you an example. In the key of C major, if my original progression has C major for one measure, followed by F major for another measure, and finally returns to C major, this is what we call a 1-4-1 progression. Now let's say that I want to add more harmonic motion to the first measure, which contains my C chord. Since I know it's a tonic chord, I can substitute the second half of the measure with one of the other tonic chords. So our original 1-4-1 progression sounds like this. Now we're going to substitute the second half of the first measure of the one chord with the 3 minor, and it would sound like this. Now if we substitute the second half of the first measure with the 6 minor chord, it would sound like this. Now, I know this sounds very basic to your ears, but please stick with me because all of this is briefly going to evolve into something far more interesting. And don't worry, I will get to the deceptive cadence soon. And no, you won't be deceived. If you've been playing jazz for any length of time, you should be familiar with 2/5 cadences. They are the main staple of any chord progression, at least in functional jazz harmony. So, having said that, we should be aware that 2/5s are not always diatonic and resolve to the one or main tonic chord, but they can resolve to other chords in the key. And the two additional tonic chords, namely the 3 minor and 6 minor I just talked about, can also be preceded by a 2/5. And these are not diatonic in the key, so they possess the attributes of a 2/5 from a minor key. That is, the 2 is a minor 7 flat 5 chord, and the dominant is an altered or flat 9 chord. Now, conventional dominants always target and therefore resolve to a chord whose root is a perfect 5th down. So for those of you who are weak on your music theory, let me demonstrate. The 3 minor 7 in C is E minor, and its 2/5 would consist of F sharp minor 7 flat 5, B7 altered, resolving to E minor 7. The 6 minor 7 in C is A minor 7, also the relative minor of the key. And the 2-5 that resolves to it consists of B minor 7 flat 5 to E, 7 altered, resolving to A minor. With what I have told you so far, you should now have enough information to understand the deceptive resolution concept. So here is what we can deduct. And this, by the way, is not something I've made up. It has been used by classical composers for centuries. If we are in the key of C and we play an F sharp minor 7, followed by a B7 altered, we normally resolve to an E minor. However, if we play or resolve to a C major, we have what is known as a deceptive resolution. You see, the ear expects to hear the E minor, which is a perfect fifth down from the B dominant, but instead we add an element of surprise. We substitute the E minor or the 3 minor with the primary tonic chord or the 1. Remember, the 3 minor and 6 minor are all functionally speaking under the category of tonic chords within a tonality and therefore are interchangeable. And by the way, the other two functions are subdominant and dominant, but we'll leave that discussion for another day. For now, let's hear how deceptive resolutions sound and what standards we can add them to. So here's the original 2-5 resolving to the 3 minor. Or now here it is resolving to the 1 chord. There are several tunes that are based on this substitution principle, and like I said initially, Stella by Starlight, the first couple of measures, is based on this. They're just omitting the 1 chord and going directly to the 2 chord. Another tune is I Should Care, measures 17 and 18, and that would be in the key of C. There it is. Also meditation. Here. Also, but beautiful. Measures 4 and 5. Here. And there's several tunes that don't have it, but you can add it to them. Like, for example, Just Friends, measures 5 and 6. So if we start also in G. Here. I'll remember April also, the 3rd and 4th measures. Here. Cole Porter's I Love You, the B section where it goes. Here. So there you have it, resolving a 2-5 meant for the 3 minor by resolving it instead to the 1. How deceptive is that? Well, if you want more deceptive resolutions in your standards, be sure to also experiment when going from a 2-5 targeting the 6 minor by instead resolving to the 1 chord. In doing so, be sure to use your ear and don't reharmonize just for the sake of reharmonizing. Make sure you like the sound you are getting. Otherwise, leave it alone. If it ain't broke, don't break it. I'd love to hear from you. I welcome your comments, questions, and even criticism as long as it's constructive criticism. This is hard work, not to mention valuable information I'm giving you, and I don't get paid for it. So your support, even through encouraging comments, is much appreciated. Also, if you really want to help support this effort, please consider checking out my online courses on my website. You will find a link in the info section directly below. Hope you've enjoyed this lesson, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so and be sure to click on the bell icon so you won't miss anything. Have fun and see you in the next video.